Hello, filmmakers. It's Kerry with Filmmaker Central. And believe it or not, another wireless lavalier mic system. Let's check it out. Okay, we have done, let's see, the Comica Boom XD, the Comica WX100, the DJI mic, the Cinco G2A2, and now we have the Fulaim F1000 CX. Question is, what is it? Is it any good? Is it worth it? What's going on? How much is it? All that good stuff. Let's start off with, I guess the most important thing is how much is it? It's $259. So for the budget range, it's on the higher end of things. It's going to be, a little bit more, $60 more than something like the Cinco, but it's going to be less than, $80 less than a DJI mic at $329. So it's in that middle ground of pricing between that $200 and $330. So it fits in at $260. Okay. It is a lavalier microphone system with a portable charging case. It's the only other one that comes with a charging case besides the DJI mic. So give it nice props for that. It comes with some microphones and a few other cool features. Just I want to make sure I don't miss anything important. It's 2.4 gigahertz adaptive frequency hopping and innovative synchronized multi-node ultra low latency technology. Wide range of compatibility for sure. TRS and USB-C and Lightning are included in the package. That's kind of cool. 150 meter transmission range. LED or LCD screens on it. We'll talk about that. Multifunction charging case. Can charge the whole kit up to 2 times. Takes about 2 hours to fully charge the transmitters and receiver using the charging case. After fully charged, the transmitter and receiver can run for about 7 hours. And total operating time when recharged with the case would be 21 hours. So a lot of cool features there. The receiver has audio out, so you can hook up some headphones for real-time monitoring. DSP software reduction, noise reduction. That's some cool stuff, and we're certainly going to talk about that. Easy to carry, stereo mono switch, low cut filter, KTV mode for reverb and singing. I wouldn't want to do that in the microphone. I'd do that in processing or something. But let's take a look at the kit. So we have receiver, 2 transmitters laid out exactly the same as the DJI. And when you take a look at it, the screens look, or the only screen is on the receiver. It looks pretty good and pretty easy to work around. In terms of accessories, we've got 2 dead cats for the receivers. We have 2 microphones. I'm using one of the microphones right now. We have USB-C to Lightning, so we can go right into iPhones. We have USB-C to USB-C, so we can go into certain Android phones, as well as anything that takes digital input, like my laptop or say the DJI Action 2. And let's see, we have, it comes with the camera cable. So we can go into like our Sony, Canon, all those type of cameras, as well as our GoPros and older action cameras like the DJI Action 1. And it has a USB-A to USB-C charging cable to charge this. And all those accessories fit in this lovely gray bag. So now I've shown you all this, but right now I'm not using it. So right now I'm going to switch to this receiver and one of the transmitters so we can talk about audio quality. Tried to match the input volumes about the same. I like the control of it. The setting the range, the gains works pretty well. So why the Fulaim? Let's talk pros and cons here. And pros, I'm going to say, are going to be the audio quality is pretty good. The built-in noise reduction is really good. I haven't had any issues with that. The range of compatibility, that's really nice. The DJI mic, same thing. I mean, I can plug that into my phone. I can plug it into Androids. I can plug it into just about anything. It works really well. The Boom X from Comica, same thing. I can use that with different devices. But some of the other cheaper ones, like the Comica WX100 or the Synco G2A2, do not have digital output, so you cannot plug those into those other devices. So that's an advantage here, is we have that digital output. Now, as opposed to some of these systems, including the Rode or the DJI, they do not come with microphones. This has two fairly decent little lavalier mics, and it has these little dead cats that go on the transmitters. Now, one of my beefs with a lot of these is how poorly the dead cats fit onto the transmitters. Now, this one just has a little rubber seal here, and it goes right around the microphone element. So you just kind of push it on there, and it passes the shake test. Some of the other mics didn't do that. So while it may not be the most elegant solution, it definitely works, and it holds it on there quite nicely. So I have no complaint about how well that works. And the lifetime battery life on these things is really good. And the travel case being a charger, I think that's a big plus. Really makes it easy to always make sure that the system is charged, ready to go. You pull it out of your camera bag and off you go. Now, often we don't really talk about use cases for these, and because you would think it's obvious. It's for people like me. It's for YouTubers to record better audio without string and wires, right? And yeah, that's certainly the standard use case is interviews, and anytime you need dialogue, you need a microphone. But sometimes you want to use a boom mic or a shotgun mic or an outdoor mic with a big thing on it. Well, you can still use these to connect to the camera wirelessly. So they have, all of these have more uses than simply acting as a lavalier mic. And I think that's kind of a really cool thing that just allows us a little more freedom of use when we're dealing with different products. So I've used it a few times. I'm pretty happy with the audio quality. It's really hard to complain because it works pretty darn well. Now, what we're going to do is I'm going to go outside. We're going to do some audio tests and compare with and without the noise reduction. You'll notice quite a bit of difference. I mean, as I did just doing some tests indoors, but I think once we go outside and do it, it'll make a really big difference. So let's go check it out. All right, we went outside and we did some tests. Let's see what we got. So right there, as I'm walking over to the Jeep to get into position, I hear background noise. I hear some rustling. I hear some stuff in the background that I'd rather not if it was taken out. But you'll see right here, we have no noise reduction turned off. Okay, we're now outside. I hear some power washing going on. I've got the camera beeps. I've got some construction going on behind me. And this is with no noise reduction turned on the receiver. I have the transmitter right here on my chest with the little dead cat on it because we've got a little bit of breeze over here. But this is no noise reduction at all. So next, I'm going to enable the low pass filter. Okay, not bad. I could easily clean that up in post-production. I wouldn't be worried about that at all. Seems totally fine. Um, yeah, easy to clean up, and for a lot of things, maybe even good enough for a lot of YouTubers. But you want to ramp up that quality, just slap some simple noise reduction on there, call it a day. Now this is the low pass filter enabled on the receiver. I doubt we're going to hear much of a difference, maybe a little bit of difference. This might come in handy more if I had a fan going in the background that had a really continuous sound to it, but it still might help a little bit. So, still got some noise going on over there. Let's see how it sounds. Next, I'm going to go and turn on the digital signal processing noise reduction. Okay, small improvement in some of the background noise there. Not super significant, but I could tell the difference. Now, let's hear it with the DSP signal processing. Okay, we've got the DSP enabled. You should have heard a pretty significant difference there if everything works the way it's supposed to. Now, all this right now is connected to my iPhone 14 via the lightning cable that's included. I think that is super, super cool because it just opens up a lot more possibilities for me when it comes to filming, besides having to rely on something that can just take an audio input, like the Sony cameras, the GoPros, the action camera. Being able to have a digital interface means I can use the iPhone, I can use the Action 2, I can record directly into my laptop. Gives me a lot of flexibility, and I really appreciate that in any product. So let's go back to the studio, listen to how these sound. That audio was super, super clean. I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed by that. While I'm talking, it sounded really good. I kept straining trying to hear any real background noise. But then when I walk away, you hear like my footsteps and some clothes rustling, but you don't hear any background noise. Let's listen again. That sounds really good. I'm I'm going to call myself pretty surprised there. So, you never know what to expect with some of these. They're brands that I may never have heard of. They did send this to me to review, but they're not seeing this video before it goes live. They're not paying me for anything. So everything is just my pretty much unbiased review here. And I got to say, I'm more impressed than I expected to be. Uh, it is $260, so it's like I said, it's at the middle of that price point, but you get lavalier microphones, you get dead cats, you get a charging case for it, you get digital signal processing noise reduction that sounds really good. So, um, Full Aim, I think you knocked this one out of the park here. You know, it's really hard to knock this thing because it works and it works well. The only thing really missing compared to the DJI mic would be onboard recording. And if you want that, well, you're going to pay $80 more, and that's what you're going to get out of that. If you want to save some money and you just want high quality wireless audio, this is a pretty good option here. I got to say, I love being able to use it with my iPhone. I think that's great. Love being able to just plug it into the Action 2. That's great. I love being able to, go back and use it with any other camera. That's amazing. So I think value-wise here, this is a pretty good deal. So one of these days, I need to like pull all these different units out and maybe do some kind of head-to-head shootout. But for right now, I think for this price point, this $260 price point, what you gain over the cheaper ones is going to be audio quality with that noise reduction, and you get the travel case, but you don't get recording that you get on a higher end unit. So that's my take on it. Definitely a recommended buy here. Thanks for watching, everybody. There'll be a link in the description below. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.